In this video, I want to talk about learning multiple languages, and it relates to a tweet that I sent out earlier this week. Let's go. Welcome back, everyone. Your favorite teacher, Dan Vega, here, back with another video. And on this channel, if you want to learn how to code, you've come to the right place, because I love to learn and I love to share what I've learned with all of you. So on this channel, you're going to find tips, tricks, tutorials, and discussions like this one that are going to help you learn how to code. So if you want to, please hit that subscribe button and don't miss another video. Today I want to talk about a tweet that I sent out earlier this week. So I sent this out and said, in the last 24 hours, I've written code in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Vue, Bash, Go, C#, and Java. When I started learning how to code, I didn't know if I'd ever get good at one language. So my advice is stick with it, learn the basics, the rest will come. And I think this is very important because I think everyone gets very overwhelmed when you first start learning how to code and you look at the prospect of all of these different languages and technologies, and you can't help but think to yourself, how am I ever going to learn all this stuff? There's just so much out there. And the brutal truth is you're never going to learn all of it, and you just have to accept it. You can get to a point where you're pretty good at languages. You can decide that you want to become an expert at one language and just stick with that the rest of your life, and that's fine. Me, I like bouncing around. I like learning different things, so that's definitely in my wheelhouse to be able to try out different languages, different frameworks, different tools. I like to learn that stuff. So coming back to that, I'm learning Go this week. I've never touched Go. I spent one day, a couple hours on it, installed it, and had a lot of fun playing around with it. I had a real need for it. I want to build some serverless functions for my static site on Nullify, and Go is one of the languages that they support, and I've been hearing great things about it. So that's what I wanted to pick up. And now I'm also in a unique position where, as my day job, I'm a curriculum developer. So I do get the chance to work on multiple tracks and different exercises and things. So I kind of am in a unique position to be playing around with different technologies. But kind of bringing this back full circle, I just want everyone out there who's just getting started to try and not to get overwhelmed with this. An analogy I like to bring up is if you were learning another language as far as a speaking language, if you wanted to learn Spanish, you wouldn't learn Spanish and French and German at the same time, would you? I know I wouldn't. I would focus in on Spanish and try to get very good at it. Then once you learned Spanish, if you wanted to learn a second language like French, you can probably apply some of the things that you did while you were learning Spanish when you were learning French. Like what resources to look for, what things to start with when you're learning that language. And the same translates to programming. When you're starting out, it just depends what you're getting into. If you're getting into game development or if you're getting into web development. If you're getting into web development, you're going to learn a couple of things at the same time, just because the nature of the web, you need to understand multiple technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then if you're going to get into maybe some type of backend program, you might learn JavaScript on the server, or you might learn something like Java, C#, Go, whatever. The point is, stick with one thing that kind of gets you to your end results. Like if your end goal is to build web applications, you're going to need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and maybe a back-end language. Stick with that at first. Don't get overwhelmed with all of these languages out there that people tell you need to learn. So that's my advice. When I started out, I said to myself, I was learning Java in school. I said, how am I ever going to learn Java, let alone these 27 other different languages that people are telling me are very important to know? So I was overwhelmed. I'm sure you are as well. Again, as someone who's been doing this for 20 years, I can't stress this enough. Don't get overwhelmed with that. Please stay on track, learn your language. The rest will come. I promise you that. All right, question of the day. What was the very first language that you learned? That question is below. Leave me your comments and we'll talk about it. So that's it for today's video, friends. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this, please give me a thumbs up down there. Hit that subscribe button. And always, happy coding, friends.